As COVID-19 related restrictions are lifted in many states and the case counts continue to fall, the debate over a controversial drug continues.
That's right. The anti-parasite medication called Ivermectin has been touted by some as a miracle drug for COVID-19, but it is not a recommended or proven remedy. And now ABC News senior national correspondent Steve Osunsami is separating fact from fiction.
The controversy around ivermectin.
Should ivermectin be used to treat COVID-19?
People want to believe in miracles.
People just come in, oh, do you have ivermectin? Pay for it and go.
And one of the latest false hopes is in a drug that every pillar of the medical community says should not be used to treat COVID outside of clinical trials.
To date, there's been no studies that have been shown to prove that ivermectin works in the prevention or treatment of COVID-19.
But there are popular voices suggesting that it works.
I feel pretty incredible.
There is this treatment in ivermectin.
What Joe Rogan and others are saying hasn't been proven, but in this divided world where people are fighting over how to respond to the pandemic, the explosion of interest in ivermectin has led to a booming online industry. Doctors around the world have been using it since the late 80s to change lives, but only as a drug meant to help people suffering from head lice and other parasitic infections, or in higher doses, used to safely treat pets and livestock. The scientists who created it won the Nobel Prize for Medicine in 2015. Fast forward to March of 2020, to a research lab in Australia and a world that was scrambling to find ways to treat COVID. A group of Australian researchers reported that when they dropped a small amount of the drug into a test tube of the coronavirus, some of the virus died in just 48 hours. But what happened in that test tube didn't prove that the drug could heal a person sick with COVID. Here at home, despite a warning from the FDA, there was now a community of American doctors like Dr. Pierre Corey, preaching wild claims.
If you take it, you will not get sick. There is a drug that is proving to be of miraculous impact.
But that so-called miracle didn't work for Dr. Corey when he caught COVID months later. Dr. Corey is not alone.
We are America's frontline doctors.
There are now small but loud groups of these physicians who are encouraging drugs like ivermectin online and discouraging vaccines. And there's money to be made. ABC News obtained this email from yet another group that sent this to recruit new doctors last summer, telling them that we have physicians making tens of thousands of dollars a month and that it's all cash pay. And remember that the FDA and every other health agency is saying that this is not the way to treat COVID. In this chart from the CDC, you see the spectacular rise in prescriptions being filled for ivermectin, at one point nearly 25 times what was normal. This is Dr. Peter McCullough, a Texas cardiologist from a group called the Truth for Health Foundation. And he tried to tell me that a person's chance of dying from the vaccine is actually greater than getting COVID and dying from the disease.
You don't believe that the COVID vaccine is actually helping us, and that's the...
No, there's no evidence of that.
You don't believe that the COVID...
There's no evidence
You don't believe that any of the vaccines are helping Americans or helping...
No, they haven't.
But there's plenty of evidence. Public health experts say that in just 1 year, the COVID vaccines have saved more than 1.1 million lives in America alone, and that people who aren't vaccinated are 14 times more likely to die of COVID. The message is the same from the CDC, the FDA, the NIH, the American Medical Association, and the World Health Organization, that COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective, and that the benefits far outweigh any risk of harm. There's a new reputable study of 500 patients in the Journal of the American Medical Association that found, quote, no evidence that ivermectin works in reducing the risk of severe disease.
Ivermectin is not a recommended treatment for COVID-19. It is not a recommended drug to prevent COVID-19.
We went to Duke University in North Carolina, where they're leading the largest ever randomized study of ivermectin with patients across 50 states. They'll soon answer if it helps treat COVID at all, and right now, they're not recommending the drug either.
At this point, where there are 3-4 drugs that can be used for COVID-19, we should be using those first instead of
pushing this drug.
That's right.
We are fighting a war, and it's an information war.
And our thanks to Steve Osunsami for that investigative report.
Well, hey,
Hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.